Shelby right next to that flag to go. Yeah, put it up next to the gold one.
Hi, I'm Donald Lee from Beverly, Mass, and you're looking at my 1967 Shelby GT500. I've had this car for 37 years. It's been a long tenure and a long journey to bring this to a concours level, restoration. The car's been heavily judged by some of the best Shelby judges in the country, and it was just a stunning example of the car. Is that there's a uniqueness that this is one of 64 because only 7% of Shelbys ever came through with a parchment interior. Okay, this is dark moss green paint, and the scoops are all functional on the hood. On the rear scoop, there's a forced interior ventilation, and the bottom scoop is to cool the brakes. One thing about about all these fastbacks, when Ford built them, the back windshield is always tinted, even though the rest of the glass is clear. But if you had an air conditioning car, that would be tinted as well. But the back window always is tinted, where if you look at my glass, it is all clear other than that. Once again, all the parts that are here are, again, all original parts, all correct. And another thing is that you see a lot of Shelbys with stripes on it. No Shelby came from California with stripes on it. They were all put at the dealer. None of them were put on at Shelby American. It's a deluxe parchment interior. Once again, a parchment interior. And as this color combination is one of 64. As you can see, 67 was the last year that Shelby built these cars in Los Angeles, California. And you can see by the kick plate, in 1968, all operations were moved to Ford in Dearborn. Shelby American no longer built the cars.
for 265,000 miles. Well, just see, tell him I was asking. You got my number, so. All right, take care.
Take it easy.
What's the frame for the big motor?
I had to take out the roll cage and start all over. And put my sidebars in. And had to reinforce
Western on this side.
going? It's a beautiful car.
Thank you.
Oh, look at your
1917 Dodge Brothers Touring. I don't know if they even asked what kind of car this is.
Yeah, it's on the door, right? It's on the door, right?
Yeah, it's hey. I wish they were all that way to make my job a lot easier.
taking videos.
Oh my God.
So she fun to drive?
Yes. That's why I drive it.
I like the steering wheel. Tell me the uniqueness about the steering wheel if you can, please. How does that whole thing?
It's called a Fat Man steering wheel. It flips up out of the way. Hey, you can't get in this car without that.
That was a thing back in 17?
Yep.
Look at that. Isn't that something, huh?
They got something all the time.
I should bring that back. Now we call it a tilt wheel.
Huh?
Now we call it a tilt wheel.
Right.
1917.
That's right.
My name is Bob Holmes, and you're looking at a 1957 Ford Thunderbird. And this is a very rare one. This is one of 27 cars with a option called the dial-o-matic seat, which you never see in any of them. And this car, in fact, has every option that was available in a 1957 Thunderbird, including both tops, the convertible top and the hard top. It was repainted in 27 years ago, and it's held up very, very well. The paint color is called Thunderbird Bronze, and it's a one-year-only color for this car. Everything else, as you see, is just the way it came from the factory. It's fun to drive, and you go down the highway in this car 75, 80 miles an hour, and you feel like you're in a sports car. It's just, it's beautiful, and it rides beautifully.
a last name in front of me and a car number. So, congratulations to the Langevins with vehicle number 498. I hope you know by which number your vehicle is registered, because a 57 Bel Air convertible. Richard Benson, 1957 Chevy Red. Tom, congratulations. A top 100 award for that beautiful 57 Chevy. That was this, and this is next. 1969, that 69 Camaro, a winner for Charlie. And an award presented to us by Jarvis Appliance. This particular one staying in the Chevy family. Let's go to Chris Keith with a 67 here at Medfield on the Charles.
Beautiful day, though.
He's got a long walk. We're talking about next year possibly putting in. It looks like Hescock, I'm not sure. The car number is 66. So if the Hescock family is here with vehicle number 56 by registration.
Hey, I'm David Tyree. How are you? I'm here with my 1967 Volkswagen SO42 Westphalia bus. It's the stock white color that it came with, and happy to be here today. Picked it up in California, full off-frame restoration. As you can see, went to original everything from ground on up. On the interior side, what we try to do is we try to keep it as clean and as original as possible. You can see the only thing that looks or is not aftermarket are the speakers in the front, and we even time dated those so that we could try to get them as close to original as possible. See, there's a 1967 Fender guitar volume knob, and so that's the only thing that works.
Who did the audio work for you?
A company called Crank It Up in Medford, Mass. The only other thing that's not stock is the centerpiece for the horn. That's a St. Christopher emblem, which is the patron saint of travel. If you bought it off the factory in 1967, everything is exactly the way it was. The only modification that we did was this right here was a closet that went all the way up. This doorway, and we cut it in half and put a countertop on it so that when you're sitting right here, it's much more open.
Cool for back 60, right?
Yeah, that's actually it.
Filtered water.
You gotta pump it. And you gotta watch your feet. Yeah, these are all storage compartments, and then the guy who installed the stereo, I told him I didn't want anything seen. Engine is not the 1600, it's the 1776 cc. And the only thing in the engine compartment that we did was we put an auxiliary battery in. Yep, exhaust is actually not period correct, but yeah, it gives it a little bit more outflow, and you know, this thing's got a whopping 50 horsepower to it, so it's 0 to 60 in about a month and a half.
It's Paul Safarian. I live in Medway, Massachusetts. This is my 77 Hornet AMX. It's a Hornet AMX. They only made them 1 year in 77, which was the last year for the Hornets. They used to have a Javelin AMX as well before. And the original AMXs were 2-seaters, but this is a one year only for this car. And they also had in 78 a Concord AMX, and they had a 79 and 80 they had a Spirit AMX, and that was the last of the AMXs. Basically, it's all original as well, but the AMX options is a different steering wheel and the gauge packages. And the 304 V8 only came with an automatic, which this is. And the AMX option is the painted bumpers, the louvers, the tiger band on the roof, the fender flares, and the front spoiler. That's all part of the AMX package, as well as blacked out mirrors and blacked out grille. The 304 American Motors engine. Like I said, everything's original on it except for intake and exhaust. The cars, they only made 5,027 of them, and only 2,011 came with V8. That's the numbers. It's original radiator, original American Motors hoses. It was originally a 2-barrel car, but now it's an aluminum intake with the 4-barrel and headers on it.